Welcome again to NR Recaps. Today I will give an explanation for drama romance movie Prime in the year 2005. Earlier than beginning the movie, ensure to subscribe and prefer this video. The film starts off with a 22-year antique boy named David. He's a painter. After that we see a lady named Rafi. She is depressed due to her divorce. She changed into married for 9 years and abruptly her husband divorced her, and that is why she could not attention on something. The subsequent day Rafi is going to fulfill a therapist named Lisa, and he or she tells her the whole lot, approximately her lifestyles. Rafi says that she changed into a good spouse who in no way did something incorrect for 9 years, and abruptly her husband left her with none motive, after which Lisa tells her that she ought to not think approximately her beyond and has moved on. At the different hand, David is going to his buddy's ex-girlfriend's residence with a cake due to the fact she cheated on him, and now they need to take revenge with the aid of throwing the cake at her face. And after some time, whilst they meet the woman, they take their revenge and runs away. Later at night time, David goes to look at a film together along with his pals, and through a few pals David meets Rafa. They begin speaking, and someplace interior they experience attracted due to the fact Rafi changed into depressed and desired to pass on in her lifestyles, and at the different hand David could not manipulate himself, and after a while they watch a film. Later, whilst David comes domestic, he cannot stop considering Rafi, and that is why David known as Rafi. After wondering for some time, but he receives scared and he would not say something whilst she choices up the call. In the meantime, Rafi is aware that David is calling her due to the fact after they meet she may want to see in his eyes that he desired to speak to her, and that is why whilst he known as the second one time she made him kushti and requested him why he known as by some means they could inform her that he desires to pass on a date together along with her and wants to spend a while together along with her. Whilst Rafi hears that she is already inspired with him, so she concurs to head on a date. The following day David and Rafi have a date, and after dinner they pass to garden even as on foot, and with inside the lawn they begin speaking and telling every different approximately their pastimes. Even as speaking they come near and begin kissing. The subsequent day Rafi is going to a therapist and tells her that she met a boy. She in addition tells her that he kissed her the day past, and by some means she managed herself due to the fact she met him for the second one time. And whilst Lisa sees Rafi glad, she is aware that she wishes a person in her lifestyle, so she tells her that she ought to have a dating with David, and Rafi changed into glad to listen that, and he or she keeps her dating with David. After a while at domestic, David comes to fulfill Rafi and they speak for some time. After a while they get intimate. Later with inside the day, whilst David is going domestic, he meets his mom, and to our wonder she isn't anyone else but Lisa, but none of them is aware of approximately every difference relationships. Later David and Rafi come nearer and spend maximum of their time collectively. They get intimate and feature a fantastic time collectively, and whilst Rafi meets her therapist she tells him something new, approximately her boyfriend daily. Rafi additionally tells her approximately intimacy and how she enjoys spending time together along with her boyfriend. In the meantime, with inside the beginning, Lisa could not recognize that she changed into speak approximately her son David, but whilst Rafi tells her greater approximately David, she begins evolved doubting that she is probably dating her son, and whilst sooner or later she is aware the whole lot, she begins evolved getting depressed due to the fact Solar is young and Rafi is a divorced lady. That is why she is going to fulfill her therapist. Whilst she tells her therapist approximately David and Rafi, Lisa's therapist defined that David had changed into younger and he could overlook approximately Rafi after some days, so she should not be involved approximately them, and he or she ought to attention on her paintings. After a while David brings Rafi to the artwork gallery wherein he keeps all his artwork she receives inspired by his paintings. After that they have got dinner and speak for some time, and even as speaking they come near and get intimate. Tomorrow Rafi is going to fulfill her therapist and tells her approximately her fantasies. She tells her approximately her favored, and he or she additionally tells him how David were given intimate with her. She tells him a few clearly weird matters even as Lisa is listening in shock due to the fact Rafi is speaking about her son, and Lisa is pretending as though nothing befell due to the fact she would not need it to display her identification. She listens to Rafi. Later, after 7 days at domestic, David is packing his garments whilst his mom comes and asks him wherein he is going. David replies that he is taking place a journey with his pals, and later in the day Ravi comes to fulfill her therapist and tells her he might not be capable of come for her remedy classes due to the fact she is taking place a journey with her boyfriend, and she in addition says that she can be able to inform her all matters that she does at the journey. Whilst Lisa hears that, she is stunned that David lied to her, but she could not say something, so she did not react. Later after a while David and Raffi pass on a journey, and after they attain their inn they right away get intimate. After spending a few days, David receives worn out of Raffi and would not need to get intimate together along with her anymore, and Raffi could not recognize something whilst David attempts to forget about her. She realizes that he isn't interested by her anymore. After a few time, David begins a dropping hobby in Raffi. In the meantime, she starts questioning what she is doing due to the fact David is younger than her and he would not have a process, and she starts considering her destiny. Later, whilst the journey ends, they arrive again domestic. Tomorrow Raffi is going to fulfill her therapist and he or she tells her approximately David. She talks badly approximately David, and whilst Lisa hears that she receives irritated and well-known shows her identification. Lisa tells Raffi that David is her son, and at that moment Raffi receives stunned whilst she heard that she begins evolved. Considering why her therapist did not inform her approximately David and he or she instructed her such a lot of personal matters approximately David and he or she could usually listen with hobby. Raffi could not even appearance her therapist with inside the eyes, and whilst she leaves, Lisa calls her son David and tells her the whole lot approximately Raffi. Whilst David hears that, he receives irritated with his mom and tells her that if she knew, why did not she inform Raffi? Why did she let Raffi inform her all of the memories approximately their intimacy? After that, David goes to meet Raffi and in anger he breaks up with her, but whilst he realizes that he made a mistake at night time, David once more is going to fulfill Raffi and apologizes for his conduct and tells her that he desires to be in a dating with him. In the meantime, Raffi would not need to be in a dating together along with her. She breaks her dating with him and left at the different hand. Lisa changed into depressed and to meet her therapist. After a while, David is going to a celebration together along with his buddy, after which he meets a woman and that they begin speaking and get intimate with. Inside the morning, whilst they waken, David requested the woman approximately her call, and to his wonder he found out that she works at Raffi's office. After a few days, whilst David goes to the grocery store, he by accident meets Raffi, and after they begin speaking he cannot manipulate it and pass domestic and get intimate. After that, over again they get into a dating. Later, David delivered Raffi to meet his own circle of relatives, and due to the fact Lisa already knew approximately Raffi, she did not like her much, but she accepts Raffi for the sake of her son. And whilst the whole lot is ready to get higher, Raffi reveals out that David had spent a night time with one in all her co-workers, so she is going to fulfill David for affirmation. He could not say something due to the fact he made a mistake, and that is why Raffi receives unhappy and leaves. In the meantime, David changed into disappointed due to his mistake. That is why he requested his mom for assist, and his mom tells him that Raffi works as a motivation for him and he has been glad for the reason that she has come into his lifestyles and that he has been greater centered on his profession. Lisa defined to him that he ought to express regret to Raffi and in no way let her pass. After to that, David went to fulfill Raffi to express regret, but she had made up her thoughts and will see the destiny. She understood that David changed into younger and the dating may want to in no way work out. Raffi tells David that he ought to attention on his profession due to the fact he is younger and he cannot simply get married and feature youngsters due to the fact she is 14 years older than him and he or she can in no way stay. Luckily, collectively she had made up her thoughts and he or she broke up with David. In the meantime, David cannot say something, so he leaves. After 365 days, David sees Raffi in a eating place and that they appearance at every different and smile. At that moment, David understood that Raffi had made the proper selection for each of them that day. With that, the film ends right here. Thank you for looking the video, like and subscribe for greater. See you subsequent time. Take care.